Shane, how do you think you ended up right here?
Where do we even start? I was determined to leave this place better than I found it. For the most part, I'd say I let my gut be my guide. Zachary Bailey!
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you're here. We're just so happy that you're back in Nashville. And for those of you that don't know, because you don't know, because Zach isn't famous yet, but he probably will be very soon for whatever reason that God makes happen. But Zach is married to my husband's niece, so basically that means you're my nephew.
That's right. That is correct.
And I will take it all day long. He has two beautiful babies, Paxton and Lennox, that are growing like weeds.
Oh my goodness.
And we are spoiled rotten now because you're back from Maui. After how long were y'all there?
6 years. 6 years on Maui.
Are you happy that y'all did it?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because, a lot of times people, they have these aspirations and they want to do things, and it's easy to say, oh, I want to do this, but to actually go through with it, it's a whole nother, it's a whole nother ball game. And I'm just happy that we actually went to Maui. We experienced the island, the people, and we did well for ourselves.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, Caitlin came to us like around Christmas. Caitlin, your wife, and was like, I just really feel like God is pulling me to Maui. I want to go to Maui. And I think we got together the funds or the miles or whatever to send her over there for Christmas. And then she saw our friend Angela Johnson, the comedian, and met some people over there and came back. She's like, this is it.
Yes.
And you said, okay, wife, wherever you say go, let's do this.
Yeah. But what's funny about that is when I was in college, I played basketball at Tennessee Tech, Cookeville. As a senior, they do these senior questionnaires and they ask you, certain questions. What's your favorite food? What was your favorite show? And so they ask, if you can live anywhere, where would you live? And I'm like, Hawaii. Because in my mind, I always thought, yeah, I'm going to live on an island. That would be so cool. And so when we were already on the island, I was working at the private school that we were at. And I'm sitting on the quad just looking at the ocean. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I totally God-affested this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that was really cool to look back at that and realize, hey, manifested that.
You totally did. I didn't even know that part. I love that. So what do you think changed spiritually for you? Because, I find, like, because I'm from the ocean, I lived next to the ocean when I was growing up, I feel very close Holy Spirit wise when I'm in the desert, because it's such a still, quiet place to quiet your mind. And some people find the ocean chaotic, but do you feel like things change for you depth wise and spirituality being there? Like the culture, the environment, the what? Or was it the same? What was it?
It's definitely different. I think there's a calming presence when you live in Maui. It's slow pace. And so you get to, when you let your mind rest, or you're able to find a quiet space and just look out in the ocean and you see the mountains or you see an island, you're just like, there's this type creation. Of serenity that you feel, tranquility. And it's like, wow, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm living here. And it was.
And there has to be a vibration for it. Yeah.
We call it aloha.
Ah, really?
Aloha, yes. So
aloha is just not hello.
It's not just hello.
Right.
It's how you treat the land, how you treat people. You often hear people when they are from Hawaii, they say, you feel the aloha, you feel the love. And that's what we felt. Being in Maui, it was a lot of love. We had our challenging times, but there were more good than bad or challenges.
And you got to see firsthand community coming together.
Absolutely.
So you lived in Lahaina, right? I didn't get to go, which is wild because I was working, and Eric got to go and everybody else has gone several times. But you were coaching there, and I guess Caitlin was working at the school as well.
Yep.
At Maui Prep.
Yes, Maui Prep Academy.
And the kids got to go there.
Yes.
And they were Paxton was taking surfing lessons and doing all the things.
Yes.
I love that. But you were there during the most challenging time that the place has ever seen, which were the fires.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So, we were living in Lahaina, and August 8th, we had just got back from Tennessee because
for the summer, because you
come
spent
for the summer, and we got back August 7th, and we went to, it's called Front Street. So Lahaina is known for Front Street, the different restaurants, the scenery is such historic vibes there. And August 7th,
businesses.
Yeah, local businesses, a lot of history. And August 7th, we go to our favorite spot, Cool Cats.
Okay.
This burger joint is fantastic.
It's everything.
Great finds. So we go to Cool Cats. We go to the movies. I think we see the Meg or something. And
oh my God, you live in Maui. And
yeah.
Meg.
Yeah. And so you just never realize, the following day what's going to transpire. And so August 8th, it was crazy just waking up. You hear the winds, and going through my normal routine. I go work out early in the morning, which my gym was like 2-minute drive.
Right.
So I go in, and next thing you know, the lights come out. And it's like,
what's going on?
The wind is crazy. Mind you, there was already a fire up country in Kula. And so you don't think,
they were very concerned about. Okay.
Because usually, the firefighters, they're on it. When there's a brush fire or sort, they are there to take care of business. But this time it was just a little weird because once I left the gym, got back home, power's still out. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like massive winds. You see tree branches falling.
Sounds like the way it is in California when in LA, we had what's called the Santa Ana winds in the wind season or whatever. And if a power line catches or sparks and it's dry, it just takes over, which we just witnessed in LA.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone has been comparing it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so during that day, I'm thinking to myself, all right, if the power's not coming on, I need to go to the grocery store. Let's get some snacks, some food, just to be prepared.
Yeah.
And so I do that. Power's still out, even at the stores.
Okay.
I was able to grab some things. We get back to the house, and this is around 2 p.m. So hour goes by. It's like 3:55. Winds have picked up. It's crazy. You start to see little rumblings of smoke, and my kids are playing outside, and I hear my daughter goes, "There's smoke. There's smoke." And then Paxton goes, "There's brown smoke." And so I go outside immediately, and I'm like, oh no, we need to go.
It's taking over. You need to evacuate.
Like we need to go right now. Grab important stuff, bring everything, and let's go. Like it wasn't.
Well, where do you go? You're on an island.
Luckily, we have friends of ours.
Okay.
Katie and Paka, shout out to them. They are awesome human beings. We go to their place north of Napili, close to the school. They're like, come to us. Come stay at our place. And so we grab our things, get in the cars. We were going to take one car. I was like, no, I'm going to drive separate. You take the kids. And so as we get in this car, now it's black smoke. You're starting to see it come toward our complex. And then you go from, holy smokes, this is happening. This is real. And so luckily we were diligent enough to just
get out,
get the stuff, important stuff, go get documents, whatever, and go. Cause you never know.
No.
You never know what can happen. And in a million years, I would have never thought that what transpired would transpire.
Could happen on an island.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so we get out the complex, we take a ride. I remember going on the road, and you just see tree branches, you see poles collapsed in the middle of the road, and it's just like, holy smokes. But as this is happening, we're on the road, you can see the smoke literally coming.
Taking over.
It's coming. And
like
I'm
a fog.
Yes.
So what happens in that situation? Was everyone because you were in a neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Like a cul-de-sac kind of situation. Was everyone in their cars? Everyone's trying to get out? Everyone's headed north?
No, there's some people that's still there. People, they were hanging out,
just thinking, they're going to get this under control.
Yeah. And I'm like, we got to go.
Wow.
We got to go. It was just second. I didn't even have to think. It was like, we need to go now. We're not waiting around. We're going. And so we get to the main road. We were able to get out. We get to our friend's place. And then that night, it was bizarre. You can see the orange glare. And we're talking about...
How many miles?
10 miles away.
Whoa.
Orange glare. And then you start to hear the rumblings. Oh, this is burnt down. This is gone. Kahoma's gone. We stayed in Kahoma Village. This is gone. Safeway's gone. And
you're like,
your heart starts to drop. You're like,
our neighbors' houses are gone.
Yeah. And so you start to think like, holy crap, like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do? So that whole night, no one's sleeping. Everyone is, trying to contact people. No power, no service. And so we don't know what's going on. And the next day, we had some people that lived in that area. We get some updates and, we hear, oh, Kahoma's still there. But the devastation that transpired, Front Street is completely gone.
So all those local natives lost everything.
Lost everything.
With nowhere to go. And no money to do anything.
People were jumping into the water.
Just not burned alive.
Yeah.
And I feel like Caitlin knew someone or grandparents or someone that was in your friendship circle, or their parents died in their cars.
Yes. It was tough. And the next day, before everything was blocked out, I actually went and I rode a bike down. No, we went to the school because we found out that our school, Maui Prep, became a safe house where we're providing food and shelter for people, and they opened up the campus. And so we went to get our minds off of it. We went to campus to try to help out, a distribution site. So we went out, tried to help and do our part, get our mind off ourselves and try to give to the community, people that need it, because nobody's seen this before. So we go out there hours giving out water, food, whatever.
How long did it take for them to get the fires out? Do you remember? Like, was it weeks? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was such a, it feels like a blur. Yeah, when you're in it, like time stops. Time stops. And so, we go to we help out at school. And then the following day, we're staying with one of my former players and his family. We stay at their place. They have an ohana. They allow us to stay there, which I'm super grateful to them, the triplets. We go to their place and they have bikes. And so we forget a couple of things. First of all, we want to see if our place is still there.
Right.
So we take bikes and we ride probably 8 to 10 miles. My butt was so sore down there, down to Lahaina before everything was blocked off. And we see the devastation. It's like, holy crap, it was
every
surreal.
House in your neighborhood, right?
Surreal.
Except for yours was still standing.
It was like a whole middle section that just completely gone. Wow. And then it was crazy because the roundabout, there was one house in the corner just completely gone, but some other houses were still intact. And we were, to my surprise, our place was still there, but there was such smoke and water inhalation. It was bad. But I was able to get my son's inhaler because we, in the midst of chaos, you forget.
You don't think about it.
You forget things. And so I go and get that, and we kind of take a detour and go down to Front Street and see.
Just to see.
And it was like, holy smoke. It was just devastating to see the amount of cars. I seen animals. I mean, it was heartbreaking.
It's like being in a war zone.
Yeah.
What, I would imagine, because it's an island and everything's so expensive anyway, but just to be able to get the tools and supplies and things that you need from other places had to take quite a bit of time. And I would imagine the water supply probably wasn't very healthy or healthy at all. Were they without water for a really long time? I mean, there were no homes.
Yeah,
water, I guess.
there wasn't water, but I will say the community and the people in Lahaina, I mean, they came together. I mean, there was people from other outer islands, Molokai, bringing supplies. I mean, to see the community just come together, it was such a beautiful thing. And I mean, it was, in the midst of devastation, you start to see that aloha. You start to see what it means to live on the island, because you help one another in the times of need. And that's what everybody was doing. You know, everybody that went through something had a story. Everybody had a story, you know, from their vantage point of what they went through. But just to see everybody come together and, you know, try to help one another, I thought that was a beautiful thing.
Changes you, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Makes you just really realize how fragile life is and how fragile just your own home. Like everything can be gone in just blink of an eye, right?
Like I never thought from going to Cool Cats in the movie theater that the next day that would be the last time that we go there, you know? Do you feel like there has been residual trauma from that experience, or do you think it's just all things have worked together for a good situation, as far as like for the kids, for your marriage, for like, what do you think? I think it made us become closer and made us realize what's truly important. You know, we in this world, you know, we're so used to having
everything at our fingertips,
and things and tangible things to touch and to have. And
they don't matter.
When you go through a situation like that, you realize that, you know, family, people that you care about, that's what really matters. Community, that's what really matters in those situations, because you have people you can lean on and you grow from it. And it was, don't get me wrong, a week later, there was another brush fire where we were staying, and it was harder on my wife and kids. It was triggering my wife and kids. And I felt that one. Yeah. The first one, it was like, okay, let's get to safety.
We survived it, right?
We survived it. And then that second one, it was like, man, like, are you serious?
And they got that under control pretty quickly then.
Yes, but it was quick, but it was so close. I'm talking about like closer than, it was like inches
too close
to the house that we were staying at. I mean, it was surreal, but luckily we had all our stuff in bags and we were ready. So if something else happened, we just grabbed the bags, put it in the car and head up. And that's what we did. We head up to the school, but by that time they had it under control. But to see my kids and my wife in that state again, in that shock, that one was tough.
Do you think that's what started the whole idea and transition of thinking that you would come back to Tennessee? Like the fear of, we're on this island, if this happens again, where do we go? Or
you start to think about that.
Yeah.
You start to think what's really important. You start to think family, like we're away. It's not like
your parents are in Florida, hers are here.
Yeah. Right. Like we're not in the States where we can just fly 2 hours or they can drive to us and help us. We're like thousands of miles away. So at first we're like, man, I don't know if we can do this, but my wife and I, we work at the school. We had a responsibility to be there for those kids that need it. And so we looked past ourselves to be part of the solution, to help the kids on the West Side and to, you know, be a light in others' lives. And I'm proud of that. And like I said, the community, the school, we all came together, and that was, even though it was a challenging year, it was rewarding in that aspect.
And it was amazing, like, to be able to say, you know, the Maui people, the Hawaiian people, and get to know their hearts and souls and the type of people that they are, which clearly impacted you. Yes. But it rubbed off on y'all. I mean, I feel like it changed y'all in the best way. Not that you weren't already amazing and doing all the things, but, you know, makes you probably contemplate a little bit more about what's important in life, and just want to go deeper on a deeper level. And it sounds like the people there, especially, you know,
they're
honor
awesome
their land, honor each other. Yeah. And I mean, you're complete strangers coming in, but it feels like God opened every door no man could shut for y'all.
Absolutely.
Like, so tell me, so when you got your job at Maui Prep, it feels like in a lot of ways they just rolled out the red carpet because you were so great, because you were the athletic director, correct?
Yes, my last role was athletic director and basketball
and took
coach.
Those basketball kids to championships and won all the things, right?
Yeah, we were able to have some success. It was fun. It was a fun ride, but you know, like going back to the beginning, when Caitlin came back, as you know, and she was like, I think we can live here. And I'm like, okay.
We can live in paradise. I don't know anybody that's going to go kicking and screaming. No, I'm not doing it. Now, that's the way I was when I had to leave Manhattan and move to LA full time. And then I got out there and I was like, wait a minute, there's a pool in our front, like literally in front of our apartment. And we have parking and we can wash our clothes here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, get over yourself. Come on now. We're moving to paradise. Like literally.
Yeah. So it was like
the closest thing to it anyway.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, why? It goes back to why not?
I'm so glad you did.
Why not? Why not try it?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? If it doesn't work out, and we live in society where there's always it's well-meaning people in our lives, but there's they want to project their fears on that. Well, what if it doesn't work out?
God almighty.
Then it doesn't work out.
That's real talk right there.
It doesn't work out. Then you come back home and you figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's what I always say to, not always, but a lot of the time I always say, everything about songwriting and the music business and things looks glamorous to people or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, I work for a bitch called Hope. She is my full-time employer. Sometimes she wants to pay me. Sometimes she don't. Yeah. But I fully step out in faith, believing that I was created to do what I'm doing, and I'm doing what I'm called to do. So God is obligated to show up.
Absolutely.
And I think the great thing about that is when you're standing in that belief system, which I know fully that you and Caitlin are, that it more and more and more of those thoughts join.
Yeah.
Together, right? Yeah. And it really does become where two or more gathered, God's in it.
Yeah.
And if you're both lifting each other up and supporting each other, and because it works like this for me. Love, a seed of love can grow like an orchard into a field, into a farm that just takes over, but a tiny little bit of fear can as well.
Exactly.
And if you can both keep each other accountable and be like, hey, remember this miracle that God did for us. We showed up here, we had no job. And a way was made. And then you had a job and then she had no job. And then a way was made. They created one for her, right?
Yeah.
So it's fully stepping out, in faith.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that my upbringing, I credit my parents, for that. They
shout out.
Shout out mom and dad.
Daddy Zach.
Yes.
Latron.
Yep. My sister and I, we were raised in the church, and I appreciate them, making me go to church and instilling that faith, faith of a mustard seed, something so small. Mm-hmm. And so when we moved to Maui and we didn't have jobs and we were figuring it out, I kept reminding, people in my life, everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
It always does.
Totally.
Everything is going to work out.
Yeah.
And that's how I lead my life, is everything when it's challenging, I always say this: everything I need to get done is already done.
Right.
Everything is going to work out, and it does. And moving to Maui, it wasn't even my idea. It wasn't even for me.
Yeah.
My wife, she felt, called to go to Maui, and I'm just tagging along, and I figure it out.
Yeah.
And
I think God is so in the small details. It's like, even when you wrote that down, you probably never thought about it again. But I really find, for me, especially in the way manifestation works, I've decided to call it Godifestation, because I'm not trying to make something happen. Yeah. I want to partner with the Holy Spirit, because that's going to be the best thing for me. That's how I feel and believe. So I legit started saying Godifestation. I'm Godifesting this.
I like that.
But, when you're partnering with that belief system, like when you're walking in what you're called to do, God is obligated to show up.
Yeah.
That's really what I feel.
Yep.
And I think it's so awesome that you just said yes. But when you wrote this thing down, there's power in the writing of things down. This is why I'm up every morning with my journal. I now have to do it with readers because I'm middle-aged and my eyes have decided not to see.
You're ageless, man. Lord. You are ageless.
Well, thank God to my brilliant dentist who also does Botox. But she's the best at it because they know every muscle in your face. So that's the PSA for dentists who do Botox. But the great thing about journaling for me is I'm just doing it stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking. And I remember the first day that I did it, I wrote down the wind. And then I wrote down, why am I writing down the wind? What's the wind got to do with anything, Jesus? Like, and it just went on and on and on. And about midday, I started getting phone alerts that there was a massive straight line windstorm coming for Nashville. I was like, okay,
wow,
this is a little nut. But that was I'm listening.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening. It's like, I really feel like God's always speaking to us, and we tend to get in the way of that still small voice. But I've learned that getting up in the morning and having that quiet time with myself and with God, I can just kind of tap into what I need to know for the day or the week or whatever.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
So this is your routine. When you don't do it, do you feel it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are mornings
you feel like something's off, right?
There are mornings when I feel like I don't want to do this. And sometimes I've also seen the difference of writing something with my hand or talking it into my phone. Yeah. There have been situations recently, Eric and I went skiing. I'd never been skiing ever, like snow skiing. Yeah. And of course, the first thing everyone's telling you is, oh my God, don't break your arm, don't break your hip, don't break your leg. And I'm like, stop speaking that over me. Don't speak that over me. I'm not breaking anything. I'm smart. I can afford to pay a ski instructor. She's going to teach me how to fall down properly and all of that, you know? But I felt for a minute, I've just, we get busy with life. Yeah. And when you're creating for your job, you're always putting out, which is why it's so important for me to sit and be still and know that God is God, but to tap in so I can create from that place. But I was starting to feel like, God, I feel like I'm not hearing you. I'm not feeling you. And I feel like I was maybe praying a little too much. I'm not one of those people who prays for the same thing over and over. Like I pray believing, like faithfully believing that if something's meant for me, God's going to bring it. That whether that's healing for another person, whatever it is. But the really cool thing about it was when we went to Breckenridge to go skiing, even though I was being taught by a ski instructor, I was having all this alone time with me where I fully had to trust, okay, God, I have told all these people, don't speak that over me. I'm not breaking anything. And I didn't. But being around that snow, being in a place, I've never been anywhere snowy other than I lived in New York City for 15 years. That was the kind of snow I was used to. Yeah. Never been in the mountains or anything like that. I grew up on a shrimp boat. We weren't trying to go skiing in the mountains. Like there was an ocean and I was terrified of it. Barely wanted to go in there. When you see sharks and it's in there, you're like, that's not for people.
Sure. I'm good at the shore.
Someone's going to eat my little white ass. It's coming for me.
I love to say they like dark meat. So,
right? Oh my Lord. Oh my gosh. So, but when I was coming down the mountain by myself and just taking in the beauty of what God had created, I started to feel and hear differently. And because I remember before we left, I was in our shower going, God, I feel like I'm not hearing you. I feel like I'm not hearing you. Like I'm writing more of like gratitude journals and not so much where it feels like I'm literally channeling the Holy Spirit's like saying these things. And I can tell when it changes, where I'm like, oh, am I afraid of what you're going to say to me? Like he's going to say something bad, all good news is coming from, heaven. There's no bad coming for me that way. And I was literally in the shower and I fully felt the Holy Spirit say, you're talking too much. I'm like, well, that's what my fourth grade teacher used to tell me. What? It's like, you're not just allowing, just be still and know. But when I was skiing, I was taking in creation. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't doing anything but focused on the snow underneath me, the way that felt, the beauty, the majesty of what God had created. And I started to tap in a new way. Like in movement, in taking in nature, honestly. And then when we went snowmobile, it snowed like 18 inches, and we went snowmobiling, and being just on my own snowmobile, I was like, whoa, the appreciation of that and doing that new thing unlocked something in me. Because when we went back, we had to go to Denver to get a flight for the next morning. So we stayed in a hotel, and I woke up. I swear I'm getting to a point here. I woke up at 5 a.m. It was really early, and it was still dark outside, and Eric was asleep. And it was like I heard the audible. This is weird, but for most people, but I felt. It was like the first time I was like hearing the audible voice of God. Like it didn't feel like my mind, my voice, the way I feel vibration and the knowing thing. Yeah. It was a voice that woke me up. It was like, maybe you don't need to know the why. I was like, what? And I came up out of the bed, and for the first time, I journaled in my computer, but I didn't want to wake anyone up. So I couldn't turn on a light, and I was like, oh, I've got my laptop. And as soon as I did, it was like, and it went on and on and on and on and on about the path and about trust and what I was doing and to trust this process and all of that. When you're journaling, so do you do it every morning?
I try to.
But y'all got children.
Yeah. I mean, I try to make that a part of my routine. Is I do a gratitude journal.
Yeah.
And I always notice when I don't do it. Yeah. Because I start to feel a certain way. But
disconnected?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
but also knowing that you're never not.
If I don't write in my gratitude journal, I'm good about, always when I wake up, I always say, thank you, God.
Yeah.
That's when my feet
First
hit the
thing
ground.
you do.
Thank you, God.
I love
because, I didn't have to wake up.
If you woke up, you have breath, you have
something
hope.
to be grateful for,
right?
And so
that's a miracle in itself.
Exactly. I'll start naming off stuff. If I don't write in my gratitude journal, I'll, thank you for life on perfect health. We like to tell our kids, we say affirmations to them. We've been doing it since they were young. When they were young, we would say our prayers and then affirmations. I am, because the name I of God. Am. Yes. It carries weight. And, so we try to get into making sure that they affirm that they know who they are. You are kind, you are powerful, you're beautiful, you are great just the way you are. And so
I'm loved and celebrated by the Most High God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, having a gratitude journal, and I try to get kids at my school, when I was teaching PE at my prep, no, we would, before we do a workout, because we always start with a workout before we get into our lesson. And I would ask the kids, what's one thing you're grateful for? And so I'm trying to bring that aspect of gratitude for, you can be grateful for anything. And I mean, some of the kids will say some of the most bizarre things. I'm grateful for my Cheetos. And I'm like, good, you're grateful for something. But the classes that I didn't do it, hey, coach, we didn't do our gratitude.
Come on.
And I'm like,
they got addicted to something good. Not
exactly.
A screen. Do you feel like because you were doing that and starting those coaching sessions that way, that's what made championships happen? Like, do you feel like that was a part, like their belief system just shifted?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. So when it comes to coaching, I always, and this is something like my dad, shout out to my dad, because he never forced me to play.
Right.
He never forced me to do anything.
It was like love of what you're doing.
Love what you're doing. But academics always came first. How you talk to adults. It was yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Yep. Which we do to our kids now. That's a thing. Manners is a thing. It goes a long way.
The other thing that y'all do, which is hilarious, that I'd never noticed before. Because it's just so funny. And you're like, what? You smell your food.
Yeah.
You, your children, and your wife before you touch anything. Like,
this is my kids. That's not me. I don't do that.
Gigi has made a fresh out of the oven, apple pie, and they've all got their nose on it. Like, am I going to eat this or not? It's hilarious, and I never noticed it before. I was like, where did this come from?
That's not me. That is Caitlin. I'm gonna blame Caitlin.
Kids are all doing that. Sorry,
I said Caitlin and her kids. No, but yeah.
But it shifted something for them.
It shifted. It shifted. And I was going back to, my dad, he always instilled in me, the work you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
And so just putting in the work and letting the kids know that, first of all, you are good enough. Mm-hmm. Whether you win or lose. And
if you're trying, you're winning.
And I'm a ultimate competitor. I hate losing.
Oh,
nobody does anything to
I don't
lose.
Get up in the daytime to hopefully ride a number 58. I want a number 1.
Exactly.
Right.
But you can be proud of the work that you do. If you put in the work and say you don't win, you can be proud of the effort that you give. And only if you give effort. So when I tell kids that think they're doing the work, that are putting in work but can give more, I say, when you look into that mirror, only if you gave 110%.
Right.
That mirror does not lie. Because that face is looking at you and if you didn't.
Yeah.
And so you got to be honest with yourself at times too. And with coaching, I was fortunate enough to you got to have good athletes. We had some good athletes. We had a system. I had coaches that were fantastic to work with. And we were able to come together as one unit, focus on the task, keep each other accountable, love each other through the good and the bad, because it was COVID. And we won a state championship. And I think that shifted our culture at Maui Prep. It was like, oh, we're not just a school that's built on academics. We can actually win things. And
had that ever happened before there?
No, I mean, before I became athletic director, we have the Maui Interscholastic League, MIL. We won 3 team MIL championships. So from 2005 to 2021, there was only 3 MIL team championships. And so
Zach brought the good vibes.
And I'm proud to say this.
Yeah, of course.
From 2021 to 2025, from my time being athletic director, we had 16 MIL championships and 2 state championships.
Shut up.
And so that's not just me though. And that's the thing, but it's a testament to God giving me the opportunity
to speak and teach.
Yes, to have the opportunity to influence kids. And you got to have the right people in place. I've learned from my mentors and people that I value, you got to have the right people in place that are enthusiastic about helping kids. And when you have that, you have the right coaches and people in place, your team, they start to thrive. The kids start to believe. And so we came up with, the creed for Maui Prep. I came up with this creed. So we had 3 of them. The first one is to create leaders and to create discipline. The second one is to create the best experience. And the last one is to have the chance to win championships. And so, when you have leaders, I think that, and I always say the first one is the most important. When you have discipline, you have leaders and kids that, do the right thing. Number 2, the experience is going to be great because you have those people in place. And then when the experience is great, you have the opportunity to win. And so we were able to do that these last 4 years. And I'm very proud of the progress that was made. And I wish, the school nothing but the best, because they offered me this opportunity that I never thought I would be an athletic director.
But God knew.
Exactly. And
God knew.
Shout out God.
Shout out God be God.
Yes.
Let me just say too, because I think it's so important what you do and what teachers do, because had my 4th grade teacher not spoken all this life over me and told me that there were things that I could do, I don't know that it ever would have happened. I don't think I would have ever left where I was from. I'd be on a shrimp boat somewhere or dead, from opioids or something that was running rabid, through that area in so many places in the country. But I think even if you haven't seen the impact yet, there's going to be a kid. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe they become, an NBA star or a teacher or want to be like you. There's a special place, I think, for great teachers in heaven, especially guys like,
They're doing
You
God's work,
called
that's for sure.
forth. You're doing God's work. The patience that it takes, the patience of Job sometimes. But like, I can't imagine, you know, having 30 kids or whatever that you've got in this room that you're teaching, but you're there to call forth greatness in them, and you have an opportunity to do that. And clearly, you know, there was a reward, absolutely, but there was proof. Like, there was a manifestation of, this is what I've been teaching, this is what I've taught, this I've called forth this thing in them and told them that they could do it. There was nothing they couldn't be, do, or have. You've got this talent. We can cultivate this. We can grow it.
Exactly.
Something AI can't do, which I was on a rant about earlier today, coming for all the jobs. But yeah, what's so exciting to me too is being an outsider looking in. Yeah. So Zach is now working at Innsworth in Nashville, which is literally one of the biggest, most highly rated basic college prep schools in the country.
Yes, I'm excited.
Definitely the best in Nashville. Sorry to all the other, but
I'm excited.
If you hadn't gone to Maui, this job would not be happening.
Exactly.
And it just works out for me because now we don't have children. So I just get to have your kids when we want them and send them back. When we don't want them. And go to their games and do all these things because I don't want kids, but I'm good at, I like being a gunkle from time to time, you know, so I'm good for that.
Oh, they love their Goo and Gus, that's for sure.
Goo and Gus, yes. Great Uncle Eric and Great Uncle Shane. Goo and Gus. Did not see that in the cards for me. I mean, that would be a thing, but I'll take it. Are you so excited about this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the interview process was quite extensive. It was over a month. Yeah. And, you know, when I was going through that process of looking for jobs, because we knew we were coming back, I didn't worry or fret. That's the thing. It goes back to when we moved to Maui. I didn't worry about it because I knew it was going to work out. It was going to work out. And I've had several interviews with, you know, high level officials at the school and, you know, just going through that process, letting them get to know me and getting to know them and the history of the school. Like, I've always known of Innsworth because I worked in Tullahoma and in sports. Yeah. And, you know, it's like, man, that's a highly rated school. It's good. And it's in Nashville.
And it's in Nashville.
Yeah. And so to have this opportunity to, you know, be back in the middle school, I'll be a middle school PE teacher and then the head middle school basketball coach. I am so excited. And then the fact that they were genuinely happy and they wanted me. It's like, oh man, I'm so stoked to be
because you carry the light. Who's going to say no to your smile in the first place? They'll be like, oh, we want that. We definitely want that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I got to give you a shout out and my family because you guys said prayers over me when I had my interview, and that gave me extra strength to go into the interview process and have confidence, you know, so I appreciate my family always for having my back and always believing in me. You know, that gives me strength.
I think I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. But I love to pray for people more than probably I like to do anything actually. But I've just found, because I used to be scared to pray for people because I was like, oh Lord, am I holy enough? Am I going to say the right thing or whatever? But the thing that I've learned about calling wellness forth in people and life forth in people and just speaking the truth over people, when you see talent in someone, you want to encourage it. Yeah. And you know, you want someone who's going in for a job interview to feel it as if it has already happened. It's already theirs. You're like, it's done. It's done. It's done. Yeah. God, you've got this. But we have to want it for ourselves. Exactly. We have to partner with that belief system. If you go in thinking, well, it might not be for me, then it probably won't
put that
be
little
for you.
Doubt out
that
there.
That little seed of fear and doubt can take over. Yeah. That's why I've decided that there's certain things that we've talked about in the world that we've shared with people too soon. and then it fall apart or whatever. It's like when there's something, sometimes you need to keep certain dreams and things for yourself, because people will talk you out of your miracle.
Absolutely.
Or your dream.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then like I said before earlier, is like well-meaning people, they want what's best for you, but they project their fears and concerns on you, and that can stop your blessings. So sometimes it's best to not
sometimes good intentions is the pathway to hell.
Yeah. So sometimes it's
intentions, but
sometimes it's best to not even, to hold on to your aspirations,
right.
And then when it manifests, God-fest, then you're able to shed light to everyone and say, look, this is what me and God was working on.
Here are my receipts.
Yes, here you go.
And if you've written them down, and they're dated and timestamped, you have receipts.
Yeah.
You know, I love it.
Yeah.
I love to be able to talk about miracles, because like we said earlier, if you wake up and you have breath, you have hope, but that's also a miracle that you did.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that the Holy Spirit said to me was, Shane, write down your miracles because you'll forget them. And you need to be reminded of them. Usually when I'm journaling, and I have tons of just journals, but I just finished a whole huge notebook the other day. I was like, oh, last page. Yep. Wow. I usually do 2 or 3 pages in the morning, and then sometimes at night too. But every once in a while, I don't usually, but every once in a while, something will be happening to me. I'm like, oh my God, I wrote this down.
Yeah.
I've got to be better about knowing what books were when. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah. I know it. But like this, I'm like, this isn't deja vu. This is something between me and the Lord that God was telling me. And now here it is. And I'll be damned, here it is in my journal. It unlocks something. It unlocks truth. It unlocks life. There's really something powerful about using your hands to write down the words.
Yes.
I
agree. I agree with that.
I even find it so interesting. I read my Bible every day, which sounds like BS, but I really do. And a lot of the time when I'm going to bed at night, I'll set my timer and I listen to a lovely British man reading, the word to me. And I'm in the Old Testament and I'm in Deuteronomy right now. And I am amazed at how detailed things were, that like the measurements of things, like utensils and things they carried things with, like down to like the actual size, like how detailed and written down everything was, and being able to clock. And then Moses said this, or this said this, and he said this, and then this was the response of that, and this person was prophesying over what was coming. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, God is really into the details of everything. When he said something, he really does mean it. But the power of writing it all down to just remember what's happened to you. Yeah. Like, or that when you can't remember it, somebody else can read it to you to remind you of who you are. Like,
I think there's a lot of times too where, like we said, we get so busy with life, we don't have the chance to sit still and think about all the blessings that you do have.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of everyday worldly things.
All the scrolling and the talking and the road rage and the
But when you do, you realize, man, I've had an amazing life.
Oh my gosh, Zach. So we did this thing where we ask everyone for a picture. Okay. And there is a reason. So how old are you, Zach?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I want to say like 2.
Oh maybe. My God. Do you see this? How cute he is?
I hope my sister's not watching.
She better watch. She better watch and share and subscribe to Shane on You, because that's what we're doing around here these days. My sister will make
fun of me.
So I need to know from you, Zach, what is the advice that you would give this little boy now? What would you want him to know as he goes forward?
Oh, man. I would tell that little kid to always live with joy and to always believe in yourself. Always.
And I feel like you'd say that to your children as well.
Always believe in yourself, because if I'm being quite, honest, I've always felt like I wasn't good enough at times.
Really?
And so, I'm not afraid to admit that.
Where do you think that came from?
I don't know. I know it came from sports, and
coaches, maybe
being short. So I've always played with an edge, and I always used any little thing as motivation. And, I realize as I've gotten older that it's not about that.
Right.
I'm good enough, and I'm who I am because that's God created me to be this way.
That's right.
And so I was just live free.
Yeah.
Live free, surrender, live free, and believe in yourself.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for this new chapter.
Thank you.
In your life, in Caitlin's life, in the kids' lives, that we get to experience it, especially now in this time in the world when everything is so all over the place. But like the impact that you'll be able to make, I think, on a global level, I think even you might end up writing a book called Coach and how
Who knows?
to move forward to do that, and how to teach kids to love themselves and see themselves and believe in themselves, that there's nothing they can't be, do, or have. But even in sports, even if it's just in their high school career, but you really, that thing that you carry, that light that you carry, that joy that you carry is infectious. It's insatiable. Like, you have to have it. This is why you do your workout.
Yep.
That's why you and Caitlin communicate the way that you do. I think that's a beautiful thing, and that it's amazing that the two of you can respect that for each other, and that you continue to do that because I gotta share it.
I gotta give my wife a lot of credit because a lot of the times, like some of the things, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been to Maui, right? And I wouldn't have been on this path that I'm on right now. And a lot of the times, she does a lot of the grunt work, taking care of the kids on schedule, supplements and all these things. And, we aren't perfect. I know I drive her nuts. She drives me nuts. But,
hello.
Of course, that's marriage and that's relationships. But, there's times where I sell myself short sometimes, and she's like, no, you can do more. Right. Are you sure this is what you want to do? She always, and it kind of annoys me sometimes because I'm like,
I don't want to feel that today. I just want to feel my feels, whatever I'm feeling.
But she always, she's constantly pushing me to be better. Right. And so I definitely, I wouldn't be the man that I am today without her. And my kids wouldn't be a good husband right now. My kids wouldn't be, as great as they are, or the people that they are. They get that from her. She's patient. I'm not that patient, but I learned that from her. I'm learning how to be more patient. I'm learning how to, have that grace, because it's always different when you interact with other kids and then your own kids. So I'm giving my energy to other kids, but when I get home, sometimes I'm not giving them that same energy, and that's not fair. And she communicates that to me, and sometimes it's hard to take that because you don't ever want to feel wrong. And sometimes I have to sit back and be like, you're right. You are absolutely right. And so I'm constantly learning how to be a better father, how to be a better husband, how to be a better person and human, because she's that. She's that. And I mean, she has a gift with kids. And like I said, when we're in Maui Prep and she deals with lower school kids, I tell her and the lower school teachers, you guys are doing God's work, because I can't do it. I can't do it.
You're like, I guess I can't.
Not today.
You know what this made me just think about, and you saying all these amazing things about Caitlin and your relationship and stuff like that, is I really feel like in relationships, if people would implement this when they're dating even, and sometimes it takes a little time to learn someone, just like the trust thing, but the definition of love, like the biblical definition of love, if you can put that person's name in the place of what love is. So for instance, love is patient, love is kind, it readily forgives. So love is selfless and sacrificial. You know, like it's unconditional. But if you can I think you can say this about your wife, and I think she can say this about you, that Zach is patient. Zach is kind. Zach is ready to forgive quickly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you can say the same things about her.
Yeah.
Like Zach rejoices in the truth and doesn't delight in evil. Same thing about each other.
Yeah.
I think it's so random of something for me to think. It's like definition of love. Ding, 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 ding. And I think if we can all just remember to do that for each other and be like, when things are crazy, you know, it's funny because me with my tattoo, which is 1 Corinthians 13:13, which is, and these things remain faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And to remember that love is the most important thing. It's what keeps us going. It's what keeps us together. It's what feeds our souls.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we're here to do, is love each other. Like if we're remembered for anything, I would want it to be how well I loved people. Right.
Yeah.
So that's my shame on you for today, I guess, is pay attention to the relationships in your life, and that you can actually put the person's name in place of where love is and the definition of love.
That's great. That is great.
You know?
That is great.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for...
We're probably going to have to do this again.
Thank you for allowing me to be on my first podcast.
Oh, God, I love it. I love all the first.
I appreciate it.
And I'm going to also say that Ensworth parents, you have a coach coming your way who's about to change lives and speak life over your kids. And I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Boom. I love it.